This is the Radio Scilly Video News, brought to you in association with Worldwide Financial Planning. For advice on inheritance tax, business finance, mortgages, debt consolidation, investment and pensions, Matt Hyam from Worldwide Financial Planning is on the islands at the Atlantic Hotel on the first Thursday of every month. The Radio Scilly Video News also brought to you in association with Truro and Penwith College. Find out about courses you can enjoy here on the islands or on the mainland at truro.ac.uk and listen out for one of 365 great reasons to visit Truro College every day on Radio Scilly. We've got Sally Kennel-Webb, we've got Michelle Lewis, and we've got Carol Drage. Hello, girls.
Hello.
Hello.
Did you ever think you'd be sitting here having done it?
Yes.
Oh, without a doubt. We were always going to do it.
Did you ever think you were going to do it in the time that you did it in?
I think there was a bit of concern that we seemed to be taking forever to come through Scotland.
Yeah.
And it was only when we really looked at the map that actually we realised that it was more than a third of the journey, Scotland.
It's quite a way, isn't it?
It is. It was a lot of miles up there. A lot of miles.
Now, for anybody thinking about doing this, and this is a popular thing to do, obviously John O'Groats to Land's End, first of all, would you do it again that way? And is there anything that you would do before doing the trip that you didn't do this time?
Yes. We'd probably do some training. We did it again.
Yeah?
We'd practice a little bit more.
How much training, Carol?
Well, a couple of times around the island, a couple of times a week may not have been quite enough.
No, not enough.
No, and I don't think at any point that we really did any consecutive days training, which was what we needed to do.
So it's very different, sort of cycling around St Mary's a couple of times and probably stopping at the airport buffet for a cuppa and then stopping at the Old Town Inn for a cuppa and doing it that way compared to thundering sort of 50, 60 miles a day.
Yeah, well, actually, it wasn't much different.
No, it wasn't much different there. Found some fabulous little cafes.
What's the furthest journey you did in one day then, the furthest distance you actually travelled?
Oh, now I think that would have been a trip that we did around Glasgow.
Now, the Glasgow thing,
yes.
That's why you need sat-navs on bikes, isn't it?
No. What we need is we need locals not telling us the way to go, and then we need Carol not listening to locals not telling us the way to go, and just trusting our own map reading skills, really.
So, out of all the people you met, were there any sort of memorable characters? Anybody that you met en route? There was one instance I can't remember what it was now. You were telling me. See, I should write the book, shouldn't I? About somebody stopped you and they'd always wanted to give money to charity.
Oh, a really, really lovely man. We were going uphill on a particularly wet day and a man pulled his car up in front of me and I thought there must be something wrong with one of the girls behind or a bike. And
with one of the girls behind? Or one of the girls...
Oh, well. Well, he jumped out anyway and he came heading towards me, and he did actually ask if I was doing this for pleasure. When he realised we weren't, he said he'd always wanted to give some money to charity, and he'd seen people travelling that way a few times, and when he saw us three ladies in that rain uphill, he thought, now is the moment, and he handed us a £20 note.
That's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it was lovely. Although, I had the £20 note in my hand, and I said, can I swap this for a lift? Please. But no, we've got the £20.
And Paul, who we've mentioned quite a few times on the radio, the manager of the Holiday Inn at Bristol Airport, was particularly kind, wasn't he, Michelle?
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, how much did he take off of our bill? It was our dinner, wasn't it? Yes. And also ended up giving us a voucher for 2 people to stay in the Holiday Inn, which was lovely.
Did you notice any sort of regional differences with how people treated you? I mean, people do say that there are regional differences. Were people nicer in Scotland or the north or anywhere on the route you noticed particularly?
People were fabulous in Scotland. Very interested, very kind. Nothing was any trouble in Scotland. And just bumping into locals as we stopped for coffee or dinner, there was always somebody that would come over and chat and see what we were doing. And it really was quite lovely. Middle England, as I keep calling it, sort of passed in a blur, really.
So where's Middle England then? Worcestershire, Herefordshire?
No, it was Northern England.
It was Northern England, really, actually. We seemed to be in and out of countryside till we got to like Lancaster. And then it was Lancaster on to Preston, to Wigan, to Warrington, and they all merged, really, in the course of like 2 days. And it wasn't really till we came out of Shrewsbury that we then went back into countryside. And we really were just stopping to eat and stopping to sleep. We didn't seem to bump into too many people.
So out of all the places you went to, the most lovely place and the most horrid place?
The most beautiful is without a doubt Scotland.
Yeah, where specifically? It's a big old country, as you know, you've cycled it.
Do you know, if I could remember the name of it, I'd tell you, but it's an area that we went through where it took us 4 hours to do 20 miles. We climbed to 2,000 feet in probably 3-4 foot of snow. Beautiful sun shining, however, freezing cold, and then dropped like a stone in the last mile back down to sea level alongside Loch Ness. And although it was hard work going through there, it was absolutely stunning. Just beautiful to see. So I think that was probably my highlight, was going through that area there.
And just picking up the vibe, Preston wasn't a surefire hit, was it?
No, I don't think I need to go back there for a while.
I want to know about your sort of power breakfast, because this is what I was told. Whether it's true or not is a different matter, of course. I was told that Carol was very sensible. It was all muesli and porridgey type stuff, and sensible, the sort of power breakfast you should have if you were Olympic athlete. I heard you two are more sort of the full English or full Scottish.
Well, mine was mainly porridge.
Right, that's
So
all right.
there was a little bit of full English, which didn't really agree with me while we were cycling, but other than that...
Sally's keeping quiet.
No, I am keeping quiet. I'm not a breakfast person. And day one I had a full English and regretted it.
Makes you feel sort of heavy, does it?
It was more a cocktail of painkillers, anti-inflammatories over coffee.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
absolutely.
We're looking at the illness side of things and the injury side. But most of you got off pretty unscathed, didn't you? But Sally, you fell off, didn't you?
Yeah, day 5, I came over a hill to go down it and just lost control of the bike in a load of mud, really. And apparently, once the girls had established that I was all right, it was a fairly spectacular dismount. A couple of injuries, but fine, got up, ate chocolate and rode on for another 6 miles, so it was fine.
Would you do it again?
What, fall off?
No, not fall off. The whole journey.
Okay,
At the moment,
do you
I
know
feel like
what?
I would.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not.
really?
I'm not saying no. I'm not saying no.
I think I would definitely do it again, but if I had more time to sort of appreciate the scenery a bit more.
It was a bit of a mad rush, was it?
Yeah, well, when we got into England, it was a bit sort of hasty, just because we weren't enjoying it as much, I don't think. Scotland, we took our time over.
I mean, how many days were you cycling again?
22.
22 days. Are you suffering a little bit? I mean, we're upstairs here. You seem to get upstairs all right, unaided.
What I think happened is that as we got into Devon and Cornwall, we had 3 nights staying with family and friends, which reduced the mileage that we were doing every day to accommodate everybody. So for the last sort of 4 or 5 days, we probably only did 30 miles a day. And I think that has proven to be a bit of a wind down for us. So although it was a fairly hideous 10 miles yesterday to cross the line in Penzance, I think we're not sore, are we? We're comfortable. We're fine.
And the money. We did get a shake of the tin last night outside the Atlantic Inn, which sounded very impressive. Not as if it's like some kind of judge the weight of a cake competition. I can work out how much is in it. So have you done any sort of number crunching so far about how much money you've raised?
We think we've probably got around £1,000. It's a bit of a guess because we don't know what's in the tubs.
Yeah, okay.
We'll be very surprised if we reach the 2,000 mark because we haven't really gone at this with a fundraising angle, really. It's just been incidental and people have been giving us money rather than us asking for it.